Okay, hello folks, Joel Lunderman here from the Garnet Valley Flea Market. I promised a video. This is one of two videos that I've made. There's another one that I made a couple years ago that's going to take you a little bit more detail about how when you get into the school in the morning. So there might be a little redundancy between that video and this video, but I promised a video for those who are brand new to the Garnet Valley Education Association Flea Market. So here it is. I thank you very much for watching, and again, thank you for agreeing to be a vendor this year. At this point, we are at September the 15th, and we have, I believe we have about over 70 vendors so far. So let me go over a couple of the questions that we've had, or that we've had up to this point, and then I'm going to show you some pictures for, again, for those who are brand new. This will help you kind of figure out what you're going to be doing the day of the flea market. Okay, so let's see, setup is 6 a.m. The event runs from 8 to 2. The doors will be open at 6, and I recommend that you're there by 6:30, 7 o'clock, setting up, or at latest 7:30, because we do get some early shoppers that come in, and I don't push them away. They'll kind of whiz through and go on to the next event. So but if you're there setting up by 7 o'clock, you should be in pretty good shape. As far as the early setup, the first people who get there, you're going to walk into a gym or into the cafeteria. It's mainly for those who are setting up in the gym, and you're going to see a huge open floor. We are going to have blue tape down. Be very patient as far as where you set up. Either myself or a colleague will help you set up as to where the aisle is and where your space is. Sometimes in the past, we've had people setting up in the actual aisle, and we've had to have you move to a space, to an actual space. Okay, so we have to have a straight aisle, and then we have to have your spaces on either side. So if you're not exactly sure where you need to set up, make sure you either see myself or one of my colleagues, and we're going to help you set up in that space. Last year we had to move a few people because they were actually setting up in the aisle, and obviously we can't have that work. So before you get all set up, make sure you're in your space, actual space. Okay. The size of the spaces are 10 by 12. They're pretty spacious. You'll find that you get enough space at 10 by 12. They're not the actual size of a parking space outside. We just couldn't go that big. But most vendors in the past have said that the 10 by 12 is plenty of space. You can move a little bit out into the aisle. We're okay with that. Just make sure you're not creating any tripping hazards. Make sure you're not going over your line into your neighbor's space unless they say it's okay. A number of tables in a space. Some people fit up to 3 6-foot tables, and that seems to work out pretty well. It's up to you. You can put a U shape. You can have it set so you sit behind your table. That's up to you. Just making sure I'm recording all this and not talking to myself, which I do plenty of anyway. If it rains, we put everybody inside. Last year we had a nor'easter, so we put everybody inside. We had a lot of cancellations. Let me talk about cancellations. If for any reason you cannot make it, please let me know. Especially the morning of, and you can send me a text. Sending a text is great, especially when all sorts of things are going on. I can just look at my phone and see that you're not going to make it, or see you're going to be late. If you're not going to make it, I think the time is, if you're not there by 7:30, you pretty much forfeit your space. Because in the gym, I can move people around rather than having a huge gaping hole in the middle of the gym where there's no vendor. I can put somebody in that space, and it just looks better, and it helps all the people around who are vendors all around that space. We don't want holes in our vending area. Okay, so if it rains, we put everybody inside. Last year we had a nor'easter. We had some cancellations, but we put everybody inside. 2 years ago it rained, and we put like 100. I think we had like 105 vendors all inside, and it worked out. It was a great event. Looking ahead, it looks like this year is going to be sunny at this point. We shall see. Okay, but if it's a rain or shine event, we have no rain date because we just don't have that flexibility with the facility. We have this event when the high school says we can have it. There's upwards of 10,000 events at that facility every single year, and we get one shot, and this is our shot. Okay. let's see. I'm going to attach a picture. Most of you have probably seen it for Facebook. You know, post that on wherever. Post it on Twitter, Facebook. Bring all your clientele out, and we can help each other there. Let's see, tables, chairs, and whatever, the 6-foot tables. Bring your own chairs. Yeah, there are cafeteria chairs that you can grab one. And I'll even say this. I'm going to tell you this. That there's a lot of cafeteria tables. I cannot guarantee that there will be tables for you, but for those people who are vending in the cafeteria, I think I'm going to leave some tables in your space, cafeteria tables in your space. You may use them. If you don't want them, my colleagues and I will move them out and get them out of the way. The problem we're starting to run into is that there are so many cafeteria tables, and they are heavy, that we run out of place to put them. We want to put them all off to the side. But if you can actually use those tables, and I'm really just referring to those people who will be in the cafeteria. If you're in the gym, you're going to make sure you have your own tables. And if you're in the cafeteria, you want to bring your own table, that's perfectly fine. But I'm going to offer to you that we'll have some cafeteria tables there that you can use if you like. The chairs, cafeteria chairs, you're welcome to use them. I request that you put them back wherever you find them. Otherwise, typically it ends up being me doing that at the end of the day. Canopies outside. Some people ask about canopy. You may put up a canopy outside. And that is fine. Again, make sure you're not going over into somebody else's space. Space assignment chart. Okay, so if you're outside, we'll have some spaces chalked out for you. And again, you'll see in the pictures here, we'll have some spaces chalked out for you. We're not going to have a name on your space for the outside, because it's just too difficult on outside. Okay, so just find myself or a colleague, and we'll put you in a space. They'll all be chalked out, hopefully, and hopefully it won't rain. If it rains overnight, it washes all our chalk marks away, and okay. So if you're inside, though, we have spaces. This is like our cafeteria chart, and I will send you what your space is. If you have a CW space, that means cafeteria window wall. It's along the wall where all the windows are. If you have SW, I don't know if you can see all that. SW, that means snack wall, snack bar wall. Okay. Some of you get an X, and that just means like in these little nooks and crannies where I couldn't find a spot for you, or couldn't really name the space for you. In the gym, we have aisles A, B, C, and D. Some of you see your names on there already. We have front wall. We have aisle A, aisle B, A, C, and D, and then we have the back wall, and then of course, yeah, along over there. So that's just an indicator of where you will be, and I do this to help when you get there at 6 in the morning and you know exactly where your space is. If you're in aisle B6, you know exactly where to go. And again, just make sure you're setting up in a space and not in an aisle. Okay, so let's run through a few pictures, and then I'll also send out my video that I made a few years ago, and that's going to help you out as well. Okay, so let's get to our picture portion of this video here, and hopefully this will clear up some questions for you. Hopefully I'm not creating too many more questions for you. All right, so here we are. This is the outside, walking in, and you see the doors there that lead into the auditorium, cafeteria, and cafeteria entrance. So this is where the outside vendors are. You can see that if you're an outdoor vendor, that you can pull up, and everybody pulls up to unload. You just need to move your car after you unload. We don't vend in the parking lot anymore. We did that years ago, but the problem is we take up all the parking from the shoppers, and then the shoppers have to park all the way around the building, and that's not good. So we all pull up, unload. If you're going inside, bring your stuff inside, and if you have a cart to bring your materials inside, that is really helpful. I'll try to have as many carts as possible, but that's on a first come first serve basis. But if you have your own cart, that will be very helpful. Okay, so this is part of the outside. Just another shot of the outside, and again, the entry door there. Yes, you see the canopy over there. Some people have canopies, and it works out very well outside. And actually, it'd be great. You know, you're get yourself a little bit of shade. This is inside those doors that we just came in. All right, going down, this is all kind of the cafeteria. Now, these are not the cafeteria tables that we have now. These are old tables. So the tables that we have now, I think, are about 4 foot by 4 foot square in the cafeteria, and they are mobile. We can move them around. Okay. And another shot of that area. Here's closer to the gym. You can see some of the cafeteria chairs over here. These are the ones I'm talking about. They're a little bit more mobile. Okay. All right, now we're in the gym, and you can see that people have tables set up here. There is a tarp down on the floor here. Again, I don't know if we're going to have a tarp on the floor. That's up to maintenance. Last year we did not have a tarp. The tarp is fine. You just need to be careful kind of getting on and off the tarp. They put tape down and all that. I don't think we're going to have the tarp this year, but if we do, it works fine. This is a picture from last year. We did not have the tarp down. You see down here we have blue tape. Okay, that's how we're going to create your spaces. And out here is an aisle. Okay, and then over here is the spaces. Okay, here's a space here. There's a space on that side. Okay, so these blue tape indicators is how we set up your spaces. And okay, here we go again. That's a year we had the tarp down, and I think that is it for our pictures. So, all right, and we're back here. All right, those are some pictures and some thoughts of what the Garnet Valley Flea Market will look like this year on September 28th. If you have any further questions, you can just send me an email. Hope this video was helpful to you or helpful for you. I'll also send the other one that takes you actually through the building. It's actual video that I walk you through the building. I'll send that out as well. Okay, so we're down to just about 2 weeks now before the event. You may get there at 6 a.m. in the morning. We run from 8 to 2. Somebody asked about even leaving early. I cannot hold you in that building longer than you want to be there. I would like all our vendors to be there at least until 1 o'clock because we do have shoppers that come, 1 o'clock, 1:30. It'd be nice for them to get there and there still be an event. So as far as shopper volume goes, year to year, we have more shoppers or less shoppers. I can't answer, we advertise everywhere as much as we can. We spend several $100s on advertising. So again, it's up to you to also get that word out, help everybody out, get some people out there and just have a good time. There will be food, as always, coffee and so forth. Okay. All right. Let me know if there's any further questions. It's late. The Eagles game is on. I'm going to go ahead and catch a little bit of that. And then it's bedtime. All right. Thanks all. I'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye-bye.